Okay, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Hey friends, it's Pete. Welcome to episode 43 of the Cake is Life podcast. It's been about 10 months since my last episode, and if you're still here, thank you. And if you're new, I'm really glad that you found this place. Today's episode is an honest update, what's going on, what's next. If you haven't listened to the last few interviews I released before this break, you can find them right here on YouTube. They're still up, still relevant, and worth checking out. This podcast will live here on YouTube for now, and as things grow again, I'll bring it back onto other podcast platforms. So with that said, there's more baking goodness coming, more conversations, more interviews, more fun. But first, this episode. And for this episode, I decided to script a lot of this out because I really want to be intentional about this episode because it's been a while and I've had a lot of life changes in my life and things that I've been dealing with for the last few years and just trying to make a comeback and rebuilding my life and rebuilding my business. I'm going back to a full-time job as well to support my family while I'm building some things on the side for a long while. And we'll get into that in a minute. But the last few years have been a lot for me. Physically, I've been dealing with back issues for over a decade while baking, building businesses, and pushing myself hard. At 41, I finally got some answers. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, and arthritis in my spine, and I have a few other little issues going on. On top of that, from a mental health perspective, I was also diagnosed with ADHD. Looking back on my life, it also makes sense, but getting the diagnosis at 41 was overwhelming. It changed how I saw my energy, my focus, my burnout, and my relationship with work. So into therapy I went, and I'm still there. Weekly sessions, still learning, and still benefiting greatly. And I think I know sometimes therapy is not for everybody, and it's hard to find a good therapist sometimes, but try as many therapists as you need to find the right one because there's got to be one out there that can help you. It took me a few therapists to find one and a group of actually therapists that have been helping me a ton. And they've essentially helped change my life and change the trajectory of my life and helped me in a lot of ways. I'm 43 now, and I've reached a point where I don't want to hide what's actually going on for me. I want to share what it looks like to move through chronic pain, neurodivergence, and years of overworking and overstress, and what I'm doing to heal instead of just powering through. Because honestly, that's what I've been doing for many, many years, is just powering through because I really didn't have a choice for very long. Just because life demands things of you. I have a wife and 3 kids, and life is demanding. Work, career, family, all the different things involved, business, trying to build a business. And it's a lot. As I said, I'm married, I have 3 kids. Life is full, life is busy. In 2022, I closed a business. It was my DIY cake studio. And we opened January of 2020, and then COVID hit. We fought hard. We lasted about 2.5 years, but eventually we had to close in 2022. I think it was June of 2022 that we ended up closing that. And around the same time, I also left a full-time job trying to keep things afloat in my business. But in all reality, looking back, I wish I would have kept the full-time job because it would have saved me a lot of heartache through the next couple years. The reality is, COVID changed everything, and like a lot of families, we took hits we didn't expect. My family ended up having to sell our house. That was hard, really hard. So right now we're in rebuilding mode, financially, emotionally, and personally. And that's not something I say with shame anymore. It's the reality of life. Life is hard. And there's so much shame and expectations that we put on ourselves. And that's something I've learned through therapy. And like, don't be so hard on yourself. You're amazing. You're good. You're okay. You could have complete chaos going around in your life. But if you're alive and breathing, and I know there's challenges, I've had such deep challenges, and I am so sympathetic, empathetic with that. It's unbelievable. Because I've been through places where I've been in dark, deep depression this last year that has not been fun. And it's been some scary moments, but I've been able to come back from that. And I guess just want to say that out there with people who struggle with anxiety, stress, depression, neurodivergence, ADHD, other chronic illnesses, whatever they may be, disorders, anything that makes life extra hard. Like, it is hard. It is hard. And I just want to be able to share that there is hope on the other side, but you got to work through stuff. And that is the tough thing. Anyway, I'll probably talk more about that in the future, but this episode, and for this coming year for me, my life is simple. It's all about rebuilding and healing. Actually taking care of myself and not just talking about it. I haven't done a great job of that over the years. I always talked about it and did it sometimes, but I didn't do it all the time. I overworked, I overstressed, I didn't sleep enough, I didn't take care of myself. I ignored my body and my nervous system for more than a decade. What better time than right now to decide to live differently, to be more present, to slow down, to focus on what's actually happening right now and what the next step is. What's the next action? And that's not easy for me sometimes, especially with ADHD. Being present is work. I am medicated for my ADHD, and that does help. It does assist with things, and I need to take it for how intense my ADHD is, and it does really help. And I don't mean to share any of these things and, try to push people or tell people that they need to go to therapy or get medicated, anything like that. I just am a believer in making improvements in your life and trying to learn, and especially learn the hard things, learn to try to deal with and process the things that hold you back from doing the things that you actually want to do in your life. When I focus on the right things and take care of myself first, everything else works better. Life is an absolute trip sometimes, guys, and it's intense, and it's just like chaos sometimes. But there are silver linings, and when you find them, they can become anchors for you. Safe places, steady ground. Sometimes the hardest part is getting out of your own way, and that's real, and that's real hard too. But as you practice, you can have more awareness and slowly get out of your way over time. But it does take practice and awareness and taking time for yourself. So next, the main thing I did this podcast episode for was I announced yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago, a community that I've been working on for the last 5 months. I actually had built this community on a different platform and wasted quite a bit of money because the platform didn't meet the expectations of the capabilities of what I was thinking that it could do. And so I completely pivoted over to a different platform, school.com, SKOOL.com. So of course, check out my community. But seriously, that I'm not promoting them. I don't get any paid anything by them or anything, but they have built an amazing platform, and there are communities on there for almost everything. And there's a lot of free ones. There are some paid ones to get into, but go check them out. But now to my community that I started. That brings me to the Bakers Collective. This community exists because baking can be incredibly isolating. You're juggling creativity, time, money, customers, energy, and expectations, often alone. Most baking spaces offer one thing: recipes or hustle or just a ton of ads. that just get in the way. Bakers Collective is free first and community first. There are core resources that will always be free. Welcome Bakers, Baking Basics, Food Safety Files, the Pantry Files, Tools and Equipment, Business Basics, and Take a Bake Break, focused on breathwork and nervous system care. These aren't teasers, they're the foundation. Yes, there are paid recipes and advanced courses coming, but only if you want them. No pressure, no gatekeeping. Belonging comes first, so please come join. In the future, there are going to be live Q&As, live recipe and technique demos, calendar events, more podcast episodes, more interviews, and I want your input. If there's something you wish existed in a community like this, tell me. This community is meant to grow with the people in it. I'm rebuilding my life in a way that actually supports my health, my family, and my future. Bakers Collective is part of that. Not because I'm chasing something, but because I'm choosing sustainability. If you're a baker who wants more than just recipes, more connection, more honesty, more balance, you're welcome here. Bakers of all skill levels are welcome in my community. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And thank you for walking aside me in this season. We're rebuilding, we're healing, and we're doing it together. Cake is life, and you guys keep on baking out there. See ya. Thanks for joining. See you next time.